Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy spoken word Tuesday. Anyway, I hope you guys days coming along fine. Excuse my hair. Of course, I'm in the middle of getting it done. Okay. So I'm wearing my scarf. Okay. I had my afro. Okay. So I put the scarf on. I was like, ooh, my goodness. All right, you guys. So today I'm gonna, read some more proverbs. I try to read a lot of proverbs right now, because proverbs, remember, it helps you gain wisdom, understanding. So my main focus right now is proverbs, right? And I do a lot of videos on proverbs, right? So you guys can, go and confirm it. Go read yourself, so you can take it in, and it can help you guide yourself throughout life, right? In a way, where you're able to overcome all kind of obstacles, where you able to gain discernment and see right through things, right? This is what Proverbs do to you, right? It helps you gain wisdom and understanding, right? Because the first thing the first knowledge or wisdom you can have is fearing the Father, right? Fearing the Father. That's the first step to like knowledge and wisdom, okay? And as we know, wisdom came to Solomon. He was the greatest king or the greatest person, who was able to be blessed with great wisdom. Nobody else but him, right? And he was David's son, right? Of course, it must be very important or, very valuable information until he put it in the book. And these are just little sayings and things that's telling you what to do so it can help you, help you with the obstacles of life, the trials and tribulations that, we gotta, face and challenge, right? And the only way we're gonna, receive that salvation if we endure to the end, so that's why Proverbs is very important, it teaches you how to walk through life, teaches you how to think, what to do, how to react to people. It just teaches you, life period, and you'd be amazed, how it teaches you to just look at something and you say to yourself, that don't even interest me, because whatever you're doing, I don't even care about that, because what you're doing, you need to understand it's going to lead you to a direction where it's not going to benefit you, and it's going to make you perish anyway. So if you're reading Proverbs, it teaches you that, it gives you that discernment, so you won't follow those same footsteps. It separates you, okay? It gains you knowledge. But remember, the Father is the Father of the just and the righteous, okay? So even if you gain this knowledge, it's up to you to put it forth the right way and not in a wicked way, okay? All right, so I'm going to be reading Proverbs chapter 22, verses 1 through 15, KJV version, okay? And the header says in chapter 22, a good name is better than riches. Train up a child in the way he should go. Train up a child in the way is kind of throughout the Bible several times, right? Because it's important that we train that child up the way, right, the right way they should go. I was a child before. I had to be raised up in the right way, so I should go the right way, okay? And now I'm an example. I'm trying to lead by example, right? So I can help you guys, go forth the right way with the word. That is. All right, so verse 1. A good name is better to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold. Verse 2. The rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Verse 4. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Verse 8. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that had a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. Verse 10. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. Verse 11. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. Verse 13. The slothful man said, there is a lion without. I shall be slain in the streets. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord shall fall therein. And verse 15, the final verse. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. All right, so that was verses 1 through 15, chapter 22 of Proverbs. And of course, it ends at 29, but I'm going to stop at 15, and I will read the rest next Tuesday. All right, so let's analyze these verses, okay? So we can get an understanding, right? With the help of the Father, that is, okay? Because everything I do, you guys, just trust me, it's not by me. I'm being led, and I'm being guided, and I'm also being charged. So the Father helped me to understand these mysteries and everything, because sometimes I can get in here and be like, what? Oh my, what is that? What do that even mean? You know, and I may have to do a little research, but he bring it to me so I can bring it to y'all, okay? All right, so verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. So you're saying a good name is rather to be chosen, right? You know, to be known, you know, that reputation of yours, you know, so people, you know, to be known of your ways and the things that you do, you know, how valuable you are to them and to everyone. That name, when they hear that name, people smile or be looking forward to you and come their way, like, oh my goodness, here they come, here they come. They just get a smile, that energy you bring, you know, that name and that reputation, right? That is better, you know, it's better, you know, than riches, silver, and gold, okay? Because remember, love and favor, rather than silver and gold is better than that, because silver and gold is just that's just an item, that's just a stationary thing, right? It can't bring you value to your life. It can bring strife and contention and wrath to your life, you know, depending on how much of that silver and gold you making an item to you, or how much you loving it, you know. So it's definitely, it's better, you know, to have that good name, because remember, silver and gold is nothing, only a stationary thing, only a thing. In the end, it cannot take care of you. It can't benefit you in the future. I mean, you can get some money off of it, okay? But at the same time, you also got to worry about somebody coming to take it from, so they can get some money from it too, you know. So it's just about, you know, walking in such a way, and when you walking past, everybody know who you are, you know, and they just perceiving you as a person that they can trust you. They can put you on there, they can put you on their throne. They will allow you to be as a king, because they know you're going to do the right thing. Opposed to a person loving gold and silver, all they want is money so much, because remember, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And partial gold and silver, that's partial, that's money too. You know, it can be converted to it, you know. All right, verse 2. The rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. So the rich and poor meet together. I mean, just say you got this person that balling, or this high person in the corporation that making all this money, a billionaire, okay? Now, in order for that billionaire to sustain his billionaire, then they got to meet with the poor, and they got to, you know, convince the poor, you know, that the poor is so good at what they doing, but in the end, they need the poor to be made to feel that way, so they can keep them and their riches up, right? With their secret combinations, because you got to understand, those who are rich or in power, they always have secret combinations. And what I mean by secret combinations, they have things within their community that we don't know about, right? So they all the time write things up and everything, making programs so they can put that on the poor, to keep the poor, you know, to labor for them, so they can keep them in the billionaire. So the rich and the poor meet together. They meet together so the poor can keep the rich rich. All right. Verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So, you know, that's like a person sees something going on, they be like, I ain't finna get into that, that ain't none of my business, you know. That's just being cautious, you know. They seeing that that's wicked and evil, and what type of, you know, what type of things it can cause somebody from what they're doing, the result it can have on anybody, you know, from their wicked ways and everything. So a prudent person to see that, and they just back off in their own little way, you know. They don't try to be judgmental or anything, but they know they don't want no parts of it, because that's going to be on their countries too. You know, they know that it's not wise to do that, so they know, you know, to look, back off in a peaceful way, and I'll probably just back off from them all together, because the prudent person, because they already know those people they hanging out with is going to lead them to destruction anyway, because that's their intention, right? So they can hide themselves, right? And they see it anyway. It's a discernment. It's right there. Just like I said, like Nehemiah, who was building that wall, even though he was not there, he had a sense of discernment because he was walking in such a way where he was known to be upright. That spirit, that whatever you put in his universe come back out. So it came back to him as a sense of discernment to not even go over there. Them people was wanting him to come over there, but because they knew he was building that wall, so they tried to concoct a plan to get him over there, but it was mischief, and he already knew it. So he never went because he knew, I ain't finna go over there. Them people trying to kill me because they don't like who I am. He foreseen it, right? And he hid himself, and he waited until everything went over, to the people that was out to kill him probably got killed or was gone about that way. He came back, okay? So we foresee it, or he foresee it. The prudent foresee it, right? But the simple are passed on, not punished. The simple, those who are easy to be manipulated and deceived, right? They see a fool knock them. Like they see him coming. They already plot like we see him. Oh man, he ain't got no type of wits, no strong, but she ain't got none. We can just bring her in, will her in, make her do whatever, right? Just so simple, ain't got no sense, no logic, no nothing. They just see you coming. You just walk in, they be like, whoa, there go one right there. We got that one. Whoa, that's just going to control that person right there. They so simple, they don't know no better. They super stupid, right? That's the person who is simple, don't know no better, go walk themselves right into a trap and become somebody's puppet. All right. Verse 4, by humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. So you see, the first step to wisdom is having fear of the Lord, right? Having fear of the Lord and humility and fear of the Lord, that's riches already. Because having fear of the Lord, and honor, it allows you to live a great life, allows you to overcome things. It allows you how to walk in, teach you how to walk in prosperity and to get it. Because what the Father put together, no man will bring asunder, right? Or make asunder. Because when you trying to be obedient to the Father, remember what he say, first seek ye the kingdom first and everything should be given to you. All your desires. Once you seek him first, whatever you want will come to you. Right? So you seek him with great diligence and truth and spirit and truth. Oh, you will be prosperous in everything, right? You will be honored, everything. Even the king, even the wicked people come think before they bother you. Like, I don't want to mess with them. I think that person right there got a little power with me. They even know. Trust me, those very same people that's out here doing so much wickedness and everything, they know, even when they coming towards a person who is walking the upright, there's a conscience they have, but sometimes they can be used by the devil too to try to take you out, because remember, many of the saints are going to be persecuted and is prosecuted, right? Because what the Messiah said, they hated me, they're going to hate you. So it's not a new thing for us to be hated or for the saints to be hated, but the Messiah was hated first, okay? So in order for us to follow his ways, we got to follow his footsteps and be persecuted and hated as well. But be upright and also be rewarded eternally in the end. All right, verse 5. Thorns and snares are in the way of the frownward. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. Okay, so thorns and snares, right? It's just like traps. Those people who look down on others or be out there trying to set them up, be trying to make a gain, out of something, that's wicked or that's going to cause some wicked to that person's life. The results of because of your intentions of what you've done, right? Those kind of people, that's always going to be traps. They're always going to be set up. They'll never be able to get ahead. Every time they take one step forward, they'll have to go 2 steps back, because their whole intention in life is to make somebody else's life miserable, or to make their life in turmoil and everything, all because they got the power to do it, okay? But it says, he that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. But those who keep that soul, a person who can see right through them, like, no, that is not right. That is not a good thing to do that person, because I don't want that to happen to me. So that soul right there is bothered. They have a conscience. So they don't want to involve themselves in such wickedness, because they know that they want to happen to them. And they also know it's going to come back to them probably 7 times, even more. All right, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Hey, literally, as it say, right? Train a child up in the way it go, and if you do, he won't depart from it. Just try to train a child in the way, where it will help them build common sense. Be logical about situations. Don't expose your child to so many things, because if you're exposing them to so many things, like, how would they know if it's right or wrong? They wouldn't know. So you got to train them and keep them away from things, right? Because you do it, don't mean you should put it in front of your child, Just prime example. Yes, everybody's entitled to their free agency. So, just prime example, you got the whole children of transgender thing, right? They got to make a law. California got to make a law where, hey, they basically gonna pull your child out the house if you don't affirm to transgender, because they feel like that's part of the child's safety and well-being, right? So it's coming up to the point where, shoot, they're gonna go against the very fact you teaching them, the right way, going against affirmative transgender, they gonna snatch them away. So you got to really train your child up the right way so they understand it. Even if you got to just probably bind by in so many ways, but in a way where you still teaching your child common sense so they can know that even though that you got the probably father laws of the land, that your child is instilled with the fear of the Father and the understanding so they can know still, no matter what y'all do, they know it's wrong. Okay? So train your child the right way. They should go the right way, because right now, this world is coming to, they trying to, take our rights, and this given is already written. Remember, the world got to be given over to the devil, so it should be a great falling away. And remember, the Father specifically says, like, if they mess with my little children, they might as well just put something over. I can't remember that verse, but it's very like dangerous to mess with God's little ones, because the little ones, that's what the kingdom belong to, right? So even though all those people and these people in the higher places, because of course we got wicked people in higher places, and that's who are putting all these laws out, transgender for the children, to make them feel like it's okay to be a girl and woman, so to make them feel like it don't matter, you can be what you want to be. Okay, so we have to be careful to try to put that, instill a word in your child way so they can understand. It's just up to you to teach them, not just throw it on them, but teach them what they can understand, so they could be able to differentiate right from wrong. Verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Okay, so like I said, like the last verse, the rich and poor meet together. Remember, the rich gotta stay in power, so they don't mind loaning to the poor, because they find the poor gonna always owe them anyway, because the rich gonna make it where that the poor is not gonna get ahead, because they already got strategized where the poor only can make so much money. So when the poor get to a certain point, they can't make more money, they don't have to come to them and borrow some money, right? So they're gonna be in debt, right? So they're always, gonna be into debt to the lender, right? And the rich is always gonna rule over the poor, because the rich is making the poor to be poor by keeping them poor and to keep him rich. Okay. All right, verse 8. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. So he that soweth iniquity, he that want to go do just simple things, who want to be wicked, who want to be evil, right? That's his whole intention, to go out there. He should reap vanity. He should reap lies, vain things, right? And nothing should be genuine and true in his life. He should be a trap to himself and a snare to himself, because he will only, or she will only, walk through life as a trap. And she will only, be surrounded around thorns and snares, because their sole intention is to sow iniquity. So their sole conclusion will be to reap vanity. All right. And his anger shall fail. It's going to get to the point where he's going to be so tired anyway from performing all the evil and wickedness, until it's going to overcome him. So it's going to probably bring him down, maybe to where he's going to be in a wheelchair anyway and can't walk no more, because he's done so much until that comment and came back on him or on him and her. All right, verse 9. He that had a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. So, you got those people that don't mind helping people. They don't feel like the money they make is all theirs. I feel like that. I feel like, I don't think, hey, I feel like whatever I make, okay, some of it is a lot to somebody else, who may need it, and hey, so somebody asks me something, they, excuse me, help me, yeah, I'm gonna give it to it, because that's part of my quota anyway. You understand? To help that person anyway, especially if I ain't been out to nobody to ask me, if I ain't been out, to maybe feed somebody, because I feed somebody, sometimes, maybe, once every other week or something like that, or sometimes maybe once every 2 weeks, but I do take the time to do it, try to get my quotas out the way, to know that I am out here helping, and to know that I'm not judging that person, to know that, that person is in a predicament, maybe because they're mental, or maybe because they was made that way, or maybe because they was lazy. I don't know. It's not my job to judge, but I know whatever I do to help that person, I'm going to get it back 7 times anyway. So, hey, here you go. Verse 10, cast out the scorner, and contention should go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. Of course, I just did this for my short today, right? And just saying, you may be trying to get some things done, but you got so much going on in your life. This person over here caused this riffraff. That man over here making you feel low. You giving your body to him because you're vulnerable. You feel like nobody else gonna love you. You ain't got no self-esteem. Then you got all your friends, all your gossiping friends around you 24/7, drummified out, bringing more chaos in your life. So your life is so consumed, so you can't do nothing. You can't make it happen, but you want to. But because you didn't cause so much strife, contention, reproach coming in your life, because you don't want to stand your ground and say, get out, then that's what you got to go through, right? So what it said, okay, cast out the scorner, and your reproach shall cease. Get it out. All right, verse 11. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. All right, so pureness of heart, somebody who's a just person, somebody ain't gonna sit up here and be biased or a favor because this person over here may have this much and that person have that much, so they're gonna be judgmental or be favoritism, because they know they can gain more from this person and can't gain nothing from the other. That's not pure heart. But pure heart is no respect of person, like the Father. He was no respect of person, but looking at the situation and judging it equally. Okay, being a just person. So the king himself will want you to come sit on his throne. You be on his throne. You be amazed how kings, because they be so pressured by the people and be forced to do so many things. And so they be also looking forward to somebody who's a righteous person, who's a just person, who's been led the righteous way, can come up and help them with their decisions, right? That person, that king wants them on their side too, because they have a pure heart. All right. Verse 12, the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of a transgressor, right? Okay, so the eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge. So somebody who's trying to work for the Father or teach and edify his people with his word, they preserve knowledge. I mean, and you know what? And I can say, I can't relate to this because I read a lot. And some of the things I read, of course, I probably don't know what I've been read, right? Because it may have been so long ago. I done read it, so I didn't forget about it because I'm on a whole other thing now. But when it's time to use it, it does be preserved. I'm a prime example because, say, for instance, if I'm explaining something to you guys, that knowledge come back where I remember it, and I can relate it to a scripture I'm saying to you guys because it's preserved. So the Father then brought that same knowledge I probably read a year ago, but he wrote it in my heart and my memory so I can relate it to you guys. It's preserved knowledge. Even though I read it a long time ago, he still preserved it to me so I can be able to edify you guys, right? So when I come and try to teach you guys, that same knowledge, when it's needed, he bring it out, from that preserved part of me. Let's see. And he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. So those same ones that try to be slick and overtalk you and everything, right? He overthrow those words. So even though they think they're being slick, they also having slick come upon them as well, right? That transgressor, that love that they're doing so many things towards their neighbor, or so evil, or so sinful and everything. That same person that think he's slick is also being slicked out, right? Because his words has been overthrown by the Father. Verse 13. The sloth man said, there is a lion without. I shall be slain in the streets. This is talking about a lazy human being, right? Somebody who always making excuses, don't want to get out there to work, right? They want to, oh no, I don't know, that might harm me, that might be a danger to me, so I don't know, I don't want to do this. They make excuses over everything. I mean, just logistics, don't want to give, don't want to do it. Those are those kind of people, they try to avoid everything or make excuses not to get out there and just do things for themselves. That's what it is. Somebody just lazy and feel like, they might well laid back because they go out there, then, they may be a danger to something, or danger may come to them. Verse 14. The mouth of strange women is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord shall fall therein. So it's just saying, if I was just saying, a man, those men that just hate the father or just hate anybody, or women just hate anybody who is, who is upright, who's trying to, walk a certain path, and they can see their life is fruitful and everything, but they just hate that person because that person's not interested in the same lifestyle that they're interested in, so they start hating that person, they hate the fruit for the person, they be really out to get them right, but those same very person, the father will allow you to meet a strange woman who's very cunning, very got some great game, that run game on you and destroy your whole life. Just will you in. I mean, you can be a married man or a man in a strong relationship or a long-term relationship that you think that you so strongly got connected together with you and your better half. But you got those women, those strange women who out there, just like with Nebuchadnezzar, who was a man, but who was a tools and instruments of the Father. He also got strange women who he uses tools and instruments to will guys in that who are so abhorrent to the Lord. Will a man and destroy everything about them in their life. Just like prime example, you look at Judah. Judah then got connected with so many strange women, and so many strange women had probably caused death upon them. They took their money and everything because so many men in Judah love to go against Judah women, trying to bring them down and do all that, and I feel like that Judah women is beneath them, I feel like, they're not worth for marriage or worth for long term, and who are Judah women? What? Judah itself, we are, one of the tribe of the holy people to the Father, so for you, your own self, a Judah to be a Gentile and go against your Judah woman, the Father will. He allows you to go ahead and go marry that strange woman who then mess around and probably sent you to jail or, cause you to lose everything you got, divorce, take your children, and lose your mind, because you feel like that strange woman is better than your Judah women. Mm-hmm. You is a abhorrent person to the Father because if you going against Judah women, then you're going against the Lord's children. So in turn, your result is to be stringed along to that strange woman or that foreigner or that Gentile, that person you mingling your seed with, washing it out, making you feel like you complete. That same very strange woman is going to ruin your life because you abhor the Lord, okay? And verse 15, the final verse. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction should drive it far from him. You see? So like I was saying earlier, because we're going to have that. The government itself, they want to go ahead and indoctrinate our children and teach them all these things, right? So it's very important, that we use the rod of correction and discipline for our children, right? The Father say be stern. I don't care what y'all say. All these effeminate and all these weak people, trust me. The Bible said be strong because remember, there's so many trials and tribulations you got to go in this world. And a weak man, if you going to fall, right? Hey, a man who stands for nothing will fall for anything, and only strong survive. So the Father in the Bible said, hey, you must stand strong. Don't be weak and fall for anything, right? Don't just fall so quick, right? So we know you got to be strong. You got to stand strong against all the vows of this world, even when it comes to your child. And you got to put some discipline down. You got to stop letting your kids scare you because you're the adult here, right? Because in the end, you're going to be the child will be the death for you because you did not put that strong rod of discipline that you're supposed to, right? Train a child up in the right way, right? And they shouldn't depart from it, right? A child is full of foolishness and mischief as a child. So we have to make sure that yes, we're allowing that child to be a child, but we also instilling that child, the sense they need or the logistics they need, so they can also stand against the vows of this earth and to be able to differentiate right and wrong and be able to differentiate natural things from, made up things, okay? All right, you guys, like I said, I was going to stop at 15. I just read Proverbs, chapter 22. Verses 1 through 15. It does end at 29, but like I said, I'm going to complete the rest of the verses on next Tuesday, on next Spoken Word Tuesday. All right? I hope I brought you guys some understanding, and I hope now whatever videos I'm doing bring you guys some understanding, okay? All right, you guys enjoy this Tuesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a wonderful day on this Spoken Word Tuesday. Bye now.